You are listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series, which syndicates for the A-List online. My name is Andrew Mackay-Smith, and I have a fabulous interview subject coming up for you. It's the bassist from Finnish outfit, Battle Beast. His name is Eero Sipilä. And now, Eero, if you are listening, if I've mispronounced your name, my sincere apologies. Finnish is definitely not my strong point. The reason for the conversation with Eero is to promote Battle Beast's brand new album for 2019 titled No More Hollywood Endings. So let's have a listen to what he has to say. Here we go. Hello mate, how you going?
Hey, good, how are you?
Good, how's the Aussie phone to grind treating you? Are we asking the right sort of questions?
Well, so far, yeah. Actually, I have to reschedule a couple of interviews, so I've only done one so far. But he was very nice, so I'm hoping you will be too.
I always do my best, mate. It's always nice to talk to someone from Finland as well, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I spoke to Nora a couple of years ago,
Okay.
and then I spoke to, and I might get his name wrong here, but I think it's Anton from Beast in Black as well, who I understand you guys were bandmates a couple of years ago. So that's the extent of my my Finnish conversations, I must let you know. But it's always a pleasure to talk to someone from the lovely land of Finland.
Well, thank you.
All right, mate, let's get stuck into things. So this new album, No More Hollywood Endings. I liked Bringer of Pain, but I got to tell you, I think you've hit it out of the park with this one here. I think this is, I'm not going to use a word like improved, but I think it's a very, very strong album, No More Hollywood Endings, okay? Particularly the single, No More Hollywood Endings, and the video that you guys have done. So what did you do differently on this album compared to Bringer of Pain?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. I'm glad you feel that way. Well, I don't think we actually did anything very differently. It's just, I like it when you said like progressed or improved, because that's how I feel too. Like,
Yes.
I think we just have it's just kind of a more confident effort, I think. Like, we had a strong belief that, we can pull this off. We can make another great record, and it's going to be a good one.
Yep.
And I also liked a previous record, but I like this actually way better. I mean, of course, it's also because of the fact that it's new, and songs on it aren't something I haven't played live for 200 times. But
Yeah, it's like that.
yeah, I don't know. It just I don't know. It was just kind of an easier mood doing it. It's very hard to put it into words, but it just felt different. But on the other ways, there wasn't much different. I mean, we recorded in the same place. The same guy produced it, our keyboard player Janne. So we didn't actually do anything different. It just turned out different. I guess that's just how music is. Like, stuff just happens.
Well, you've been together since, God knows, I mean, this is your fifth or sixth album since 2011, so you've been very consistent with the releases. So I think probably, this is my take on what's probably happened, you've got used to each other and the way you guys like to write together, and I think you've probably gotten more used to the studio too, because the strings, let's talk about this, the strings and the cut, No More Hollywood Endings, who composed them, because they are stunning?
Actually, I'll have to check the name. I mean, it was Janne's idea to use them, but it was an outside arranger. I mean, we had the ideas of, where we're going to need the strings.
Yeah.
And there was, some general lines of like how they should be. But on the top of my head, I really can't, say who it was. I'll have to Google that.
Okay.
I can probably send you the name. But it was somebody outside of the band.
And look, the other thing that I noticed is the album is more aggressive. Would you agree with that? Because I've had it for about a week or so now, because I'm in the Nuclear Blast portal. But I've been listening to it in a variety of applications. I've actually been outside playing darts, and I've been listening to it, and it impressed me how aggressive it was. So I appreciate that you probably haven't done anything different in terms of the approach of this album compared to the last one. But do you notice that it's a bit of a heavier album compared to the last one as well?
Actually, no. I mean, it's funny because every journalist I've talked, they have different ideas about it. Like the first, somebody from France was like, why are you guys nowadays symphonic metal? And it was like,
oh wow,
we are. And so people, I mean, it feels like everybody has very different ideas about it. And I mean, I know a lot of people were shocked by the first single because it's not very guitar oriented track, and everybody's like, this is too light for a Battle Beast song. But also like I know what you mean. There's some very very aggressive, heavy moments on it. So I think it's kind of a record. You know, it's a very cliche thing to say, but it has something for everybody. Like I want to make a record that happens kind of in every direction.
Yeah.
In the sense that there's just more of everything, and I think there's a lot of feelings or
I
emotions that you can hold on to. Yeah.
Yeah, I can recognise that.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Yeah.
So more of everything. So I'm also a bassist actually. So I love talking to a fellow bass guitarist, especially one that's touring the world and touring the world and as a rock star as such as you are. So mate, with what sort of basses did you choose to use this time around? Did you have a quiver of basses that you selected from, or did you just have your go-to like what I do with my Music Man basses?
I just used the single bass, which is my Spectre Legend Custom, which is actually one of the cheaper Spectre models, but I think it's a wonderful instrument.
Yeah.
And it's a 4-string bass, and there are some songs. It's a 4-string bass. Yeah, it's
I thought for all money, honestly, I thought for all money you're using 5-string because it's got a beautiful bottom end.
Yes, and that's where I'm going with this. We actually on some of the songs we just tuned it like 5 half steps down to record those low beats.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
It's
the same bass I think I used for Bringer of Pain, or then it was the other one, which is also the same. I mean, same brand but different instrument. But yeah, it was all recorded with the one.
So how did you? Because I've used a 4-string in the studio as a 5-string. I understand and appreciate what you've done, but I had all sorts of problems staying in tune. So did you have to tighten the truss rod to its almost maximum capacity in order to get it to stay in tune?
No, I didn't have to do any of that stuff. It stays. I mean, it stays in tune wonderfully. But of course, like we were having the tuner out like every 2 minutes just to make sure that everything's nice and in tune. But I didn't actually need any alterations. We had the recording guy and me, and we were both kind of surprised like how good it sounded.
Yeah.
Just using that cheap solution of tuning it way down. But yeah, that's how it worked.
Yeah, gotcha. And did you use like an interface such as an amplifier or a processing unit, or did you go straight into the desk?
No, it's straight into the line, and that's it.
Nice. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I can hear that Spectre sound now that you mention it. It's just a massive sound. It really surprises me you got such a great tone out of a 4-string, but every once in a while you pick up a bass, don't you, and it just works for you. It just does exactly what you want it to do.
Yeah, and just for the record, I'm not endorsing or being endorsed by Spectrum. I just really love playing them. So,
there you go.
But yeah, it's an instrument that works for me. I mean, I really love them.
Well, I think I'm planning on releasing this as a podcast episode, if that's cool. And if anybody from Spectre is listening, mate, give the man an endorsement. Ringing praise.
Yeah, give me a call.
Absolutely. Hey, and what about, did you write any of the songs on the bass and bring them to the band as well?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, did I write any of the songs?
Did you write them on the bass guitar specifically and then bring them to the band? Okay, yeah.
No, I never do that. Like, I think it's better to have like, I use guitar and, I mean, the bass is like, if you write like, I don't know, thrash metal, then maybe you can compose with the bass. But like, if you want to make songs with, actually thought out, chord progressions and stuff, then it's better to use something else, in my opinion.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not digging for any dirt here. I'm genuinely asking the question because I'm curious. Okay, so it is Anton that I spoke to from Beast in Black, and their new album's a cracking album as well. But is it just a coincidence that you both had a release out at the same time on Nuclear Blast?
Yeah,
just a coincidence.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they have their release schedules. I don't know what the deal is, but I mean, we don't make the calls of like when our album is going to be out. So. Yeah, it's coincidence from our side, and I don't know if a Nuclear Blast had some idea, but yeah.
Oh, you'd have to think that there would have been something behind that, I reckon. And the way I look at it, the split with Anton going and doing Beast in Black is that it's a bit like when Dave Mustaine left Metallica to form Megadeth. We've got two wonderfully inspired disco, well, I say disco-themed heavy metal bands. I hope you don't mind me saying it like that. But we've got two of you now. Before there was just one, and now we've got two.
Yeah, I mean that's the perfect solution. I think. I mean, what could go wrong? I mean, you get more bands and more music for people to like. So
Yeah.
That's how it is. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Now, tell me, touring. Are you going to be taking this one here to Australia potentially, or whereabouts are you planning on bringing the album on the road?
Well, I mean, first of all, we're going to be touring like a hell of a lot. I mean, this year, like starting from March, we do 4 very big shows here in Finland, and then the whole April and halfway to the end of May with a European tour. Then we do a couple of more shows in Russia. Then during the summer we have like I think maybe 24 festival shows. After which we go to the North America and we do 6 weeks maybe. And after that, potentially South America, then Europe again. So yeah, the whole year is going to be crazy. And Australia is something we very much want to do, but it's mainly about the money. Like, I mean, it's just so expensive flying 6 people plus crew plus gear halfway across the planet. So the sensible thing to do would be like tying that with a tour in the East Asia, maybe like Japan and Australia or Australia and China. I don't know, but if the chance presents itself, we definitely will do it. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Another territory to look at, just keep this one in your notebook, is the Philippines. Rabid heavy metal fans in the Philippines, man. You'd love to go there.
Absolutely. I'll keep that in mind. Would love to, yeah.
Right, mate, just a bit about yourself. Who did you listen to growing up? Who inspired you as a bass guitarist?
Well, this is not a very very unique answer, but Steve Harris.
Nice. The Godfather.
And then... absolutely. Plus Jenny Lee from Rush. They were probably my inspirators in that way. I mean, I had others, but if I have to pick 1 or 2, it would be them.
Yeah. Were you inspired by any local bands in Finland? Did any bands there really inspire you to become a musician and to improve your craft as a musician that people listening might not be aware of?
Not really, actually. For some reason, as a teen, I had this thing like any band from Finland is, not as good as somebody else. I mean,
we think the same thing here about Australian bands. It's the same thing about Australian bands when you're an Australian. Yeah, it's always like that. Yeah.
I mean, but nowadays, of course, I think differently. But for some reason, as a teen, it was like this is anything out of Finland is not that fancy or it's. Yeah, I don't know how I felt about it, but I just had this overall attitude about it. Yeah. Not a very smart attitude, but I still had it, so no.
Yeah. Hey, I was just looking at the chart position for Bringer of Pain, so you're probably no doubt aware of this, but you were had a number one album. That was a number one album in Finland, okay? And it achieved number 14 in Germany. Now, my bold prediction is that you'll make top 10 in Germany with No More Hollywood Endings, and of course, this will be your third number one album in Finland. You might already be projecting it in terms of like the amount of pre-orders and amount of copies that you've shipped, and what do they call it when people pre-order things on digital? You might already be there with that, but you must be pretty excited that, given the trajectory of the albums to date, this one here, given the strength of the album, should do very well for you guys commercially.
Yeah, if you're hearing a slight knock, it's me knocking on wood because.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something I don't want to think about, like how's it going to do. I mean, I'm hoping for the best, but if you start thinking about the numbers or how it's going to sell, it drives you crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I hope for the best. I hope it's going to chart well. I mean, I hope it takes us further, but it's not something you can concentrate on, because if you do, then you lose the grip of being a musician, I think.
Yeah. Well, the label will be very happy, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I hope so.
Yeah. Hey, you must get, and I think I've noticed this with some of the fan comments online, you're one of those metal bands that has a cohort of your fan base that aren't heavy metal fans. Now, that's only my observation, but do you see that when you're up there on stage and you look out? Do you see some, quote, unquote, normal-looking people at the gigs, not just metalheads?
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, yes. I mean, and I think it's a great thing because, how should I put this? Like, there's always going to be those, ultra, super, duper, heavy, extreme metal bands who make music for the metal hardcore. But I also think the genre needs, kind of the bands who keep it closer to the mainstream. For me, it would be a great honor if somebody like 10 years from now told me, like, yeah, Battle Beast was the first metal band I ever liked, and that got me into heavy or whatever. So yeah, that's something I'm proud of. Like, I mean, it's good for people to be, enjoy music out of their out of the box of their usual likings. Like, but yeah, that's a comment I've been hearing a lot from people in Finland, especially. Like, I don't usually like heavy metal, but Battle Beast is something I enjoy, and for me, that's a great sense of pride.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Yeah, I think so too. I've noticed that the music lends itself to a broader audience. It really does. And I think bands like you guys act as gateways for the non-heavy metal fan to appreciate heavy metal.
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Hey, look, I'll ask my last question then, and it's going to be a left field one, but it's a cracker. Okay, so what's the craziest thing you've seen or done on tour? And you can be as not safe for work as you want.
Okay, craziest thing. I don't know. It's probably, probably some stage prank thing. I would assume, because we do a lot of last show pranks.
Yep.
Yeah, but okay, for maybe it's it's kind of hard to pick one, but could be like during our tour with Sabaton, like we did this. Well, it went on forever because we were drunk, but yeah, we got on stage during their song and with nothing on except for how should I put it, like a kind of a duct tape underwear.
Oh God! Oh, how'd you get it off? That would have stung.
Well, through pain.
Oh man.
Yeah, but that sort of stuff. I mean, it's not just one occasion, but that was the one I remember the most. So, I mean, remember most probably / am most ashamed of. So yeah, probably take the cake. Yeah.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that before, so I'll definitely play that one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Good on you, mate. Well, look, this album will do good things for you regardless, I think. And,
I hope so.
Congratulations on it, for being a great bass guitarist in a great band and for making a career playing heavy metal. I really admire people who can do that, mate, and you're one of them. So congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
That's all right, brother. All right, no worries. Good luck with everything.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, mate. Bye. You have been listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series, which syndicates for the A-List Online. My name is Andrew Mackay-Smith, and that conversation featured Battle Beast bassist Eero Sipilä. Thank you so much for tuning in.